Hey there, how are you doing? So let's talk very briefly about the civil rights legislation that was just, I guess, nullified, is what you would say, by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that part of the voting rights bill that was established in the 1960s after the civil rights movement is nullified. They're saying that the districts have to be, as they say, colorblind, which is bizarre because if we really wanted to go about this color in a colorblind manner, this wouldn't even be an issue. So there are some really impressive mental gymnastics going on here. But I'm just like, wow, that takes a lot of nerve, I think. Like, this is a lot of chutzpah to try and undo something that was established in uh, after the civil rights era, and it's happened like three times already. So, yeah, I mean, Trump has a lot of chutzpah, as do his supporters, and really, it's kind of scary. It's scary and disconcerting, to say the least. Now, I, like many people, have learned about Black American history and found it to be quite inspirational, not just for Black people, but really for all Americans, because it really proved that, okay, like the system works. And, um, I mean, things are not always perfect, but with the system in theory, it can push us all to a quote more perfect union, but yes, not. Now I think that the United States is going to work towards being like medieval Europe, and I kind of think that that is the goal for many people in this country. And so I don't know, one day at a time, I guess, because it's kind of hard to know, where we go from here. But it is a little bit just sad, uh, disheartening, disappointing, and even a little bit concerning and scary. So I don't know. I'm just really hoping that it all backfires and things don't actually go how they think that things are going to go. So it'll be interesting to see how the midterms turn out. And because I think that there could be a surprise in store. A lot of the red states are redistricting, but I know the governor of New York said that she is going to redistrict as well. Newsom said that he is going to redistrict. So we will see what happens there. Um, we can talk about Meg and Clay next. Now, Meg the Stallion, the rapper, Clay Thompson, the NBA star, they had a romance for about a year. They broke up. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal, but I, again, was kind of shocked at how the internet received this information and like reacted to this information. Now, I really do think when it comes to relationships, people need to just grow up. Sometimes things just don't work out. It just don't work out. I mean, when it comes to making a decision to commit to a person, there are a lot of variables that need to match and meet. And honestly, it's kind of easy for a lot of those variables to not match and meet. And then, you just decide to go your separate ways. It doesn't mean anyone's a terrible person or anyone was mean to anyone. It just means that, people weren't on the same page. Now, Meg said that Clay cheated on her. I mean, not making excuses for anyone, but it is what it is. The man was in the NBA, or still is, for like 15 years and has, I think, 4 championships. So Meg was betting on the long shot there. So I don't know. Better to get it over with after a year of dating a person than after you actually marry them, even though it sounds like they did like buy a house together, which is weird. I have no idea why Megan would do that. Didn't he already have a house that she could just move into? Like, I don't understand. But anyway, moving on. Best wishes to them in their future. Oh no, wait, no, not moving on. A lot of people were calling Meg to put this nicely, a woman of questionable morals, but that's like her entire shtick. Like, that's her entire brand. So, like, who cares? And she's had that persona publicly for a long time, like as long as she's been known, and Clay knew about that, so that couldn't really be the issue because I mean, if he didn't like it, he didn't have to be bothered anyway. So I don't care about that. I don't really care about any of this. Megan also said something like, "Oh, I cooked Thanksgiving dinner for your whole family." So what? I mean, she did what she wanted to do. Um, Sounds like she had a nice Thanksgiving that year. She had some company, and she made dinner. It's fine, just get over it. She should move on. I think that she should maybe call Kevin Durant, see what he's up to. As long as she can get in good with the mom, I think that she'll be fine. Because she's lovely. I think that, I mean, she's very like sultry. She has the same kind of energy about her that like old time movie stars have, like Sophia Loren and Meg the Stallion have the same kind of energy to me. Meg is the Texas version of, well, let me specify, Black Texas version of like Sophia Loren, because the white Texas version would be Anna Nicole, and the Hispanic Texas version would be Selena. Texas, they they produce some, really attractive women, so good for them on that point. But anyway, I'm not too worried about either one of them. They will be fine. And Meg, I think she's just kind of at her scary age. She's 31. So if you ever watch the show Sex in the City, there is a scary age, which means if I'm not married with children by a certain age, then yeah, that's like the scary age. And 31, I think that's a pretty common scary age for a lot of people. But again, I think that Meg, she can do okay. Um, I've said before, for a woman around like 28 to 31, that's really when a woman is in her prime. So Meg, she is, you know, she's still in it. Again, call Kevin Durant. Go ahead, do it, and that would be great. That would start more drama. And she could be like the Yoko Ono of the the 2010 Golden State Warriors, or whatever year it was. I think that their like big success was in that range. Now again, as far as like internet drama, that is if you believe that this whole romance was even real. I really kind of question a lot of these kind of high profile celebrity romances. I think a lot of them are showmances that are just for attention and just to push themselves through the internet algorithm, and they work, especially for the men. They really work. There are several men who I would not know who they were if they did not date a Kardashian or a Jenner sister. Now, I know who Klay Thompson was because I watch NBA, but there were a lot of people who were like, I don't even know who that is. Well, obviously they don't watch NBA, but in all fairness, even when you do watch NBA, even if you do remember like the glory days of the Golden State Warriors, especially like the Klay Thompson, Steph Curry type era, Klay Thompson was not the person who everyone was paying attention to at all. People pay more attention to Kevin Durant, even though Kevin Durant kind of gets bullied by NBA fans, people still paid more attention to him. People paid more attention to Steph Curry's wife and children than they paid attention to Klay Thompson. His stock has gone up massively, massively from this whole Meg Thee Stallion romance. And another thing that we need to remember about Meg Thee Stallion is that she is a brilliant businesswoman and she's great at marketing. Her partnership with Popeye's Chicken, that was brilliant. She played into her persona and she linked up with Popeye's Chicken. And I don't know if you ever had the hottie sauce, but it's actually absolutely delicious. It's like a mix of McDonald's sweet and sour and hot sauce, and it's delicious. And Popeyes has really good chicken strips. So yeah, Meg's no dummy. Meg's no dummy, and I think Meg is a businesswoman, and Meg is very smart, much like Tay Tay. I kind of question if her relationship with Travis is just a showmance too. It will be interesting to see how that pans out. They are supposed to be getting married next month, so we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the photos. So there's that, and now not Southwest, Spirit Airlines has gone under. Spirit Airlines is notorious for a lot of reasons. I flew Spirit Airlines once. I didn't find anything, sorry, that people say about them to be true. I don't think that they're all that cheap, and I didn't have any customer service issues like that. Not really. I mean, there was one issue because I rented a car at the same time that I booked the ticket, and there was a problem with that, like me not knowing which rental place I was supposed to use. But had I not done that, it would have been fine, like no issues whatsoever. So my one experience with Spirit Airlines, it did not match the hype around Spirit Airlines at all. So there's that. But I live in Kansas City. Spirit Airlines, they came through Kansas City, but we were not like one of their big hubs, because when I did look around for flights using Spirit, there would be like one a day in Kansas City. So, I mean, we were limited here as far as Spirit. So there's that. So Spirit Airlines has gone under. Honestly, I blame Trump, and it's not just because, but I will blame Trump for darn near everything. Give me a minute. I can find a way to blame Trump for Meg and Klay breaking up. Let me find out Klay is MAGA. Let me find out that I'm going to blame Trump. Yes, I do blame Trump for a lot. Call it Trump derangement syndrome if you want. I don't really care. I will take it. But anyway, gosh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I do blame Trump, because back when the TSA was not getting paid, I was like, this has got to be affecting airline ticket sales. There's no way that it can't, because if I was planning on traveling at that point, if it was not an emergency of some sort, I would have put it off. I know someone who did some traveling at that time. He told me that he didn't have any issues. So I guess the problems were concentrated in certain cities. But yeah, he said he had no issues. But I think that I would have postponed my travel. I think I would have canceled it, whatever. And I'm like, man, some of these airlines have got to be losing money. So yeah, there's that. There's the fuel prices where I am. Gas is $3.99. This is the highest I've ever seen gas in my life. And tourism, just generally speaking, to places such as Florida and Vegas is on the decline right now. And that's pretty much what Spirit is known for. Is they're known for going to places like Detroit and Atlanta, and places in Florida, and like Vegas. As far as I know, like those are the big places where they travel. Um, or maybe that's just where all the fights occur. That might have been where like most of the fights occur that end up going viral. But anyway, I think it's unfortunate. It is a option that is now gone that was tailored towards like people on a budget and people with lower income. And I feel like if you look at what's going on in America right now, there are fewer and fewer options for lower income or people on a budget. Just fewer options. I mean, even Dollar Tree and Chipotle, they have said that they want to cater to a higher end company. I look at some of these tiny homes on like YouTube and stuff like that, and I look at these tiny homes and I'm like, that looks like a trailer. That looks like a double wide or single wide trailer. Why are you calling this a tiny home? Like, why are you trying to make this trendy and bohemian? Like, that is a trailer. The only thing different is that some of these tiny homes have like a loft. That's the only thing. Oh, and another thing. Okay, I am a child of the 1980s. We used to run around in these plastic shoes. I do not know why, in retrospect, it makes no sense. But anyway, these shoes, they used to be sold in grocery stores. And I don't know how much they cost, but they were extremely cheap because these grocery stores that I'm remembering were in Detroit, the city of Detroit. And they would have them in a big basket. It would be full of these freaking shoes. You could just like dig through, find a color you like in your size, and they would be attached with elastic string. Those same exact shoes now are like $80 from like Sam and Libby. And they used to be like in these inner city grocery stores for, I mean, children could buy them on their own, just like little pocket money they had. So they were probably like $2 or something, but now they're like $70. So everything that was like, something that, like lower income people did, some like fashion person or some real estate person took it and tried to repackage it and make it like trendy or bohemian or whatever, or they're like getting rid of it altogether. Like what's happening with Spirit. Now, I love Southwest Airlines. They have been one of my favorite companies ever. Like, I mean, I just thought they were wonderful. I thought they were very efficient. I thought that they were very, focused on their customers' needs, and their customers were people who were, more like budget friendly consumers. And I don't know that that's the right term, budget conscious consumers. That's what uh, this word that I'm looking for. But now they act like they're trying to get bougie with assigned seats and stuff like that. The thing I loved about Southwest was I loved how it was like a city bus, just like in the sky. Like the plane would start somewhere on the East Coast and just like fly across the country and just like stop at like every city. Some people would get off, some more people would get on, like straight up like the city bus, no assigned seating. I thought it was amazing. So now they're trying to have assigned seating and stuff like that. And they have this rule about like heavy people having to pay for like two seats. And I've seen like two people like this on the news. To me, they didn't even look all that heavy. I mean, they certainly were not slender, but they were heavy, but heavy is the norm. Anyway, they had to pay for like two seats, and I'm like, that's rude because Google this if you want. Airlines made their seats skinnier a few years ago, so now they're going to pay people who might be a little bit heavier for an extra seat. And this one woman, she recorded herself on the plane, and I mean, she looked fine. Like, it would not have bothered me to sit next to this woman, but some people, like, on comment sections, they're all like, I didn't want people spilling over onto my seat. It's Southwest Airlines. It's not the Concorde or a private jet, so, check yourself. But anyway, that is my little rant. Um, oh, and another thing, Donnie, and his correspondence dinner that happened last week. Um, yeah. Okay, this is all I'm going to say about this. Years ago, when I was a college student, um, Bill Clinton, who was the president at the time, came to the school and gave a speech. I went. I went and I watched the speech. I don't even remember that much of the speech, but I am going to actually attach it to this video. Um, the thing that I remember the most was the security. Like, it was crazy. It was intense. It started days ahead of time. Um, and it was very, very detail oriented and very, very thorough. And there were Secret Service people walking all over campus, like talking into their arm and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, it seems kind of strange that somebody just ran up into a building, where the president was and started acting a fool like that. I also thought the same thing about the president giving a speech in an open field with another building across the way with a clear vantage point of where the president was speaking. I was like, what are y'all? What happened? They must be slipping, from back in the day. And I think the Secret Service is just the Secret Service. Like, it's not, it doesn't change from administration to administration. Like, they just have their policies and procedures. So yeah, it's all questionable. Oh yeah, and I thought the timing on the Clay Meg breakup was a little bit peculiar, because it's like, okay, all the black people on the internet just become like completely enthralled with this rapper and this NBA player breaking up, and then they further gut civil rights, even though I don't know that people who were super invested in Meg and Clay are the same people that are interested in civil rights. I mean, I'm interested in both, but I do think there are some extremes there that don't overlap. I'm just like a really well-rounded person, but I'm just like, really, like, I think it's kind of interesting, the timing on that, which also makes me question a lot of that type of stuff. So anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.